Ooh, welcome, dear friends, to a table full of Shungite. There you go. How does that feel? So there's every kind of possible shape we have here. Fabulous crystal. What do I know about Shungite? Well, many years ago I was placed a piece of Shungite in my hand, and the guy said, "This is an interesting crystal." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, where's it from?" "It's from Russia, I think." I went, "Oh, okay." And oh, my hand's a bit mucky. He said, "Ah, yeah, that's one of the things with Shungite, especially if it's not been polished." And it's look, my hand's nice and clean. And if you do this with non-polished, you start to get a little bit of the Shungite on your finger. And I said, "It's really interesting." So I started working with it. And at that time, I didn't really ask him what the crystal was and how it worked. I just wanted to see for myself. So as the weeks, months passed by, I found myself going to Shungite for certain reasons, and those reasons weren't always radiation poisoning, wasn't always people who suffered. Sorry about the noise, guys, but it's the best I can do. Next door, they're working away. So yeah, as I'm working on my clients, I don't know if I can with this noise, it's really distracting today. But anyway, so I'm working on certain clients and I started seeing patterns of how it was helping. So for me, it wasn't about the technologies that are causing great harm right now, the weaponized systems, but it was more about on a healing one-to-one level. So what was Shungite doing? I found that Shungite was expressing people's emotions to awaken to something that they didn't know. So it was a lot of the times that people would come and say, "I don't know what's wrong. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who I am." And I started noticing that it had an energy that would awaken something within people. That kind of, "Oh my God" moment. I know what I want to do now. I know where I want to go. And black was very relative to me for healing. So any black crystal, black tourmaline, any kind of black had that energy of the awakening. So I then wrote that down in my spiritual book inside my head, in my heart, my PowerPoints, and it sat there. What is black? Well, black was determined for me through crystals that when you wear black, it means you don't know really what you want inside your mind, but your spirit is saying, get ready for something brand new, a new idea, a new thought, a new color, a new you. So that was evident to begin with, that Shungite was doing great work for the awakening of people, or their life path, or their journey, and what inspiration would come through. But there was a lot more to this crystal. I found that a lot of people with heavy pregnancies that couldn't lie down properly, which is very normal because they've got heavy weight there, and lying on your back for an hour healing session was always challenging. So they'd turn to their side to be comfortable. Why did I always go and get a piece of black tourmaline and then work on their back, lower back, and then 3 or 4 or 5 days later, or even at that time, "Oh, my back pain's gone, feels great, wow." So then I realized there's something in this crystal that also has an energy of clearing the pain, the stress, and the spiritual baggage that is always round the back and lower back and kidneys. So I was getting some great results as I was working on the back with a piece of Shungite. And how I would work is this, like this. So I'd hold the piece and work in that kind of way around the back with energy, like this. So I'd be working and then one hand out, one hand and working. So receiving and giving. And at the same time, whatever energy is coming through me is now going through the crystal. So it's a win-win, and it was working really well. So there you go, all types of beautiful Shungites. Oh no, that's a cherry. That's a cherry. I bought some cherries yesterday. Okay, so, excuse me. Let's start with this one, eh? So I've got 1,000 of these in the process, so they should be here shortly. And what are these? Phone holders. Well, it makes sense, because one of the amazing things about Shungite is that they disrupt the energy of 5G. Of any kind of cell phone, any kind of computer, it disrupts the energy, so that energy is not as powerful when it hits you, causing great stress, headaches, eye issues, heart issues, brain issues, all kinds of cancers. So that's what phones do. That's what they admit. They won't tell you that, but it's true. So this really works. Now, that's fantastic. It really is. So I decided to have 1,000 made, waiting for them to come. But I tell you what else is fascinating. The cubes. The cubes are fascinating because if you put one of these next to your bed, you'll feel the difference in your sleep. Absolutely. I have 2 next to my bed. These are a very beautiful shape. They're in the shape of a pyramid. There's a reason for that, as people, if you study shapes. But these little pyramids, I've ordered to have specially made for me 1,000. So these are interesting because I put these in my bedroom. The reason why is because I like to sleep well. So I put them in all 4 corners of the room. But a lot of my clients will take these and put them in a room where they're working. So if you've got an office, you put them in the 4 corners of the room, and they generate an energy to keep that frequency alive, that healing frequency, to disrupt the frequency of 5G of your computer, of any electrical appliance. And by the way, when you go to sleep, switch all your electrical appliances off. Computer, Wi-Fi, switch it off, okay? So these are great, brilliant, fantastic. These are polished. What's the difference between a polished and an unpolished? So what's the difference? Not much, apart from the fact that you won't get black. It works in the same way, and they're amazing, whether they're polished or unpolished. What do I like? Well, if I'm inside the house and I'm next to water, I like them unpolished. I don't know why, but I like the raw on my hands. When I'm outside, I'll take a polished piece with me because I don't want to have filthy hands. Pretty much that simple. So having a beautiful ball like this, a sphere, which generates an energy from all over, kicking out in the house, something like this, or even something like that, or even something smaller, would be a beautiful place to put it, would be a central location, which is a great idea if you can. So look for the center point in the house and place it there and let the work be done. These little tiny pieces, which are gorgeous, I love them. What I'll do with these is I'll work on them in a way of putting energy with one hand out and one here, and work on eyes. My top half here, I'll work on that around until I get a pain or anything, and then I'll stop, and then I'll just gently rotate my hand clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then if you feel another pain in the rest of the head, then you follow that pain and go there, and that's called cleansing away of the 5G frequency. in the head, and that works brilliant. There's other ways you can do it, and you can take a block or a nice little pebble size and rub and massage all over the forehead till you feel a pain, and you'll follow that pain and then just massage where that pain is until there's a new pain. So what you're doing is you're breaking down the 5G, which is causing illness to the body. Fascinating, really. So yeah, the pyramids are amazing. These are fascinating. I'm loving these at the moment. How do I work with these? At the moment, I'm still trying to understand the actual point being when I'm holding it. It's so beautiful and fine. Where am I going with this? I'm still working on that with myself and clients. But I love the shape. It's such a beautiful, fine shape. These ones are slight, as you can see, they're not as pointy, but there's something about this which I think is magical. And maybe in a few months I'll understand how to work with this more and more. But practice makes perfect, and you get to understand when you're getting new, different shapes, because the shapes are relevant to energy frequency, healing, and how that energy comes out. It's fascinating, and I'm still yet to learn. I know 1% of energy healing and crystals, and I've been doing it for 20 years. It's incredible. On a final note, how do you know whether you've actually got a piece of Shungite? Well, here's one way. Can you see this? Just switched itself off then. Okay, so that's my phone. Okay, so watch what happens when I do this. When I'm putting this crystal on the phone, which is a malachite on my phone. Now, get yourself a Shungite, and it should, in theory, can you see? Okay, and I'll get this again. So that's one way to check it, if it's real. So the phone will do the same as what your finger does, right? Okay, so that's cool. Brilliant. I'm just gonna have a sip of coffee. I'm actually sweating, by the way, guys, because I've got all the windows shut. It's absolutely boiling, but next door is you heard knocking and banging. Okay. The spheres, when you put into a center of a house, you can also at any time pick that sphere up and work with it. Whenever there's healing sessions live or whatever we're doing, work with the crystal. You hold it in your hand, because when you're in this frequency, the frequency of healing, to that very frequency you need in your body, because your body is being disrupted all day long. You're an antenna. And being an antenna as you are, which is the frequency around you, which is a special, unique frequency to you, it gets compromised throughout the day. Like I said, compromised through negative energy, through people attacking you, through people doing silly things, through the food that you eat, which is non-foods, and sometimes through just being around places which don't have good energy. Then you've got the frequency of 5G, you've got the frequency of your computers and all of the other things that are happening in this world right now, which is what's in the skies, what's being poured down over us, satellites. So all of this toxic soup, it makes sense to carry a nice little piece or wear a nice piece of Shungite. At the moment, I'm wearing something equally, if not more fascinating. I love Shungite, don't get me wrong, but this is equally as fascinating, and this is Silicon Valley. So this gives me a great energy of disrupting the negative energy around me. But this crystal is amazing for that. So if you just hold it in your hand and just feel where you want to go, you might feel like you want to go further up, you might want to go further. If you go further up, it's better if you hold your crystal comfortable and get your head to go down. But if you've got it in your hand and you can massage yourself, or even ask your partner to massage you, It's a great thing to do to massage your body with a piece of Shungite. You will feel much, you'll feel uplifted, you'll feel better. Again, I actually like the natural Shungite because it just has that extra feeling on my skin, a bit like when you put a mud pack on yourself. So this, you won't have that as much. There is still, you will still get a residue from the polished, of course you will, but the residue from a natural Shungite is a lot more. So I don't mind it being on my skin for a while because it's actually radiating this perfect frequency that is in line with healing property. The other thing with Shungite when working with it on clients, and what I see with it when it's on a client, is I see a lot of darkness lifting. I see a lot of negativity lifting. So if you're depressed, feeling bad, down, it's a brilliant crystal to wear because it targets that very negative energy. This is on a healing point of view as a crystal healer. So when I see this crystal, I normally find that I like to go low, like tektite. So when I'm wearing a piece of Shungite, I like to bring it down to my belly, which means it's targeting the back, which is prominently the most important place to heal right now. The back, because that's where that's where all the negative energy sits mainly, and that's why a lot of people suffer with lower back and issues. But it's not actually the lower back per se. It's normally the kidneys that are infected by negative energy or unhealth. Well, it's the same. If you have physical and emotional and spiritual negative energy in the back and it's causing pain and suffering, if you can cleanse and clear that, it's great. So my protocol is this: I'll get Shungite and I'll stick it on my belly so I know it's working, and I'll take melon, I'll drink plenty of water and I'll Shungite the water. I'll also water with love and healing in it, frequency, and then I'll get bicarbonate of soda in the morning and do a protocol with half a teaspoon in a full cup of water, and I'll do that for 2 months, and in that 2 months backache disappears, it's gone. So a lot of the times you think you've got backache when it's actually not your back, it's your kidneys, but not always. Not always. I'm just saying I did see a pattern of that healing, and that was the same thing that happened to me through a dear Mitchell who took me through the same protocol, and it was absolutely brilliant. Well, I should be a fun guy today with Shungite, but I'm not a fun guy today. I'm not. I'm like exhausted, but I hope what I've given you today is a little bit more information. I'm going to put these on my website. I would highly recommend you go to your crystal local shop because it's going to be much cheaper than my website. The reason why is the weight of these things alone costs a fortune to ship. So yes, if you're buying the little pieces, okay. However, the difference between my pieces of Shungite and the ones you'll buy from a store, predominantly, I'm not saying always, but they buy the product and put it in for sale. I've actually worked on all of these now for, when did they come in? About 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe more. So I've worked on each individual piece. So they have a certain energy frequency in them. So it's slightly different, more energy, more frequency, more love, and more healing. So that's why people like to buy from Bajerski.com, because each one of these pieces I've worked on and I take my time and put pure energy healing into them. So I hope you feel the difference, but I do still recommend you go to your local store, especially if you haven't got a lot of money, because it's going to be much cheaper there, I think. So there you go, that's it. It's a beautiful crystal, fascinating one, still learning every day with it. And learn. There's lots of people out there who are specializing in Shungite. go and listen to them, because mine is only one perspective, and you should listen to other people because they might have some amazing information that I still don't know about yet. But that's okay, because the way I'm learning is very natural. I don't read books, I don't listen to others. I actually work on the crystal first before I can actually say whether it's real or not. And this crystal is real, and it works, and it's fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful workshop with Shungite, and I wish you a lovely day, guys. Just a reminder about the Besanitz hedgehog, which is valued at £3,000. If you want to be in with a chance to win that, just go to the link below, China Bajerski, and just make one purchase of 1 month training membership with her, and that gets you a ticket. If you decide to buy the 12 months, it gets you 12 tickets. So good luck with that. Have a great day. Links below. Take care. Hey, well done, Mark. Good lad. Hey, have a great day, guys.